Hey guys, Kev here, and I just want to do some quick, rapid overview reviews, just whatever. I have 4 knives here I want to talk about, basically. First one is the Bestec TARDIS. So I do actually have the RR station on the way from my buddy Brent, Backpack B, and I'm going to do a comparison because I've heard, and I've compared them myself, this knife to the RR station. And the reason it's interesting is because Bestec did the OEM work on the station, and then they came out with this, which is, I mean, it's eerily similar blade, especially with the two-tone. Now, the interesting part about all this is it has Ostapel's name on it. So, that's, I don't know, just seems odd, but hey. Now, the handle seems different to me, and again, I'll do a comparison, so I'll talk about that in that video, but it's comfortable back here. You can choke up like this. Is pretty comfortable. It's a cleaver, basically, so it's a really heavy blade. It really swings down. Needs a strong detent to pop out, which they have, but the studs are uncomfortable. They really hurt. I'm not gonna lie. They hurt. And if you don't give it the gas right away and just pop it like this, and you kind of pressure it to pop, it really chews up your fingers. Like my thumbs are almost numb or raw from this knife. You can flick it, but it's kind of awkward because they didn't leave an edge on the fuller. They smoothed it, so it's almost not meant for reverse flicking, which is weird. So I wish that was sharper for that. You have a mini poon here, which is interesting, and some jimping, which works. And then you have the cleaver blade, which is relatively thin. I mean, it's definitely a beefy knife, so it's not meant to be a ultra slicer, but I used this for icy pops a bunch yesterday, opened some packages. It worked great. Had no issue there. You can front flip it if you get it in the right spot and kind of wrist it. You can get it out. Not necessarily intuitive. It does have a strong detent, which is nice. I like that they didn't, you know, prioritize this fake front flipper, or I don't know if it's fake or not, but hey. Lockup's really good. It's nice and smooth. I just had to clean some oil off the lock bar so it stops sticking. Swings down. I mean, it's really well done. Access is good. I think for a budget knife, you know, I don't know how much this is, 50 bucks, 80 bucks, something like that. Definitely solid. Clip annoys me a little bit. I love the look of it. It works great. I just wish it was reversible. They have the 2 screw holes in the right spot. They just needed to add the little cutout here. I don't think people would have cared that much, but hey. So that's the TARDIS. More in-depth video and comparison coming on that, so stay tuned. The next one is the Vostede Mayhem / RS knife / whatever they're calling it this week. I did film this video already. I started it, and this one was first, and I went on and on for like 20 minutes, so I had to restart and kind of regroup. It's supposed to be rapid. I just ranted a lot about this because the blade to handle ratio bothers me. You know, I haven't seen the custom. I believe this is based off a custom, and I'm sure that I don't know. I'm sure that would look ratio-wise a little better, but I have to look it up after this. But the problem I have is that you have less than 3 inches of cutting edge on this, and then you have a 8.5 inch knife or something. So here's the blade length. It's just under 3 inches. And then the overall knife, if you look at the tip to handle, is 3 1/4-ish. And then you have literally 5 inches of handle after that. So it's basically 8.15 overall, we'll say. 8.15 inches, and you have sub 3 inches of cutting edge. And I don't know, it just doesn't make sense to me. And then you look at the tip, lands here, and you have about 1/4 inch of handle after that. So that could have been, you know, that I think they could have changed. Now, I think the issue with the blade to handle ratio in this area is mostly because of the lock. It has this compression lock with the button, and so that you see where that choil kind of lands right behind the button. So they could not really give you more cutting edge as far as I can tell on this. You know, unless they shifted the pivot. I don't know. It's possible, I guess. But anyway, I harped on the blade to handle ratio for a while. I'm just going to be brief about it and say it doesn't look good to me, right? And functionally, it doesn't make sense to me. I mean, look how much of this is sticking out of my hand, and I only have that much blade length. I don't know. It just doesn't make too much sense, but I guess, I don't know. Then you have a pretty bruisery knife in general, which is another thing that's not my style. Now, that's not really something I can complain about. That's just something I personally am not into. It is milled out a little bit. It's just a hefty boy. I mean, it's got a thick blade on it. It doesn't come down to the thinnest edge. It's meant to be a bruiser, I think. And that's part of why I just wish it had more blade length, you know. You have this sort of dual grind. It's very interesting looking there. Pretty cool. You have a pill-shaped hole, right? And then you have this compression lock that everybody raves about, and you'll hear right-handed people say, oh, it's great for lefties too. No, it's not. It's not great for lefties. At least not for this lefty. So my problem with it is I don't have a clip. So I can't reverse the clip. As a righty, you can just pinch this clip, push the button, swing it down. Doesn't matter what side the button's on, you have the clip. As a lefty, not having that clip is very difficult. I can't grab anything here, so the most comfortable would be this, but guess what? My fingers are getting chopped off. So I have to do this, and then I have to get enough pressure on it to get it to break all the way, and it's just not comfortable. It's awkward. I can then, what most lefties will do is this. We'll pinch it like this. And that works. But let's say you're doing anything but filming a video, paying super attention while you're doing it. You're going to end up dropping this. It just happens all the time with Spydercos, whatever. Having the button is great, but it doesn't solve everything. Like, look, I just have 2 fingers on this knife. It's going to fall if I'm walking or doing whatever, right? Now, can I do it? Yes, I can do it. It's just not as good as people make it seem. Same with the flick, right? Like, I don't have the clip here to grab, so it's sliding out of my finger as I flip. Right-handed, you have the clip again. Easy, right? The thumb flick is great either way, in my opinion. Works righty great. Lefty works great because you're flicking forward. I don't know, it just works better for me. Obviously, I can operate it. It's just not as easy as people make it sound. The flipper tab, I wish also was jimped around and maybe a different. I don't know. It's good. But you have to deliberately dig in and pull. You can't, like, I don't know. It's hard to explain. Like, if I grab, it basically has the same exact motion as a Vero, right? Like, you go in and then you push as you're pulling back. Like, you push and pull. And this is the same thing. You come in and push and pull. You can't really, you can do a light switch, but I've slipped off quite a bit trying to come down, and because the jimping stops right here, right? I feel like it'd be nice if it was jimped around or something, but the flipper tab works good. The detent on this, originally it felt a little bit soft in the unboxing, but I think it just broke in or something because it's great now. I can't fail it without, like, pinching it, so it's good. Acoustics are excellent. And the ergos are definitely solid. You can grip it back here, or you can choke up like this. Yeah, it just overall isn't, for me, I guess, is the best way to put it. So that's the Mayhem RS knife, whatever it's being called right now. The next one is from Superlative. This is the Matador. Don't have too much to say about this. It's not my style, but it is an excellent knife. This is a Riot build, and it is really well done. Look at those details. Just beautiful on those inlays. The pivot is unique. It's got this really osier look to it that I love. Superlative is a company owned by Enrique Pena, Javi Garcia, and Jared Osier, and man, it's really cool to see what they come up with together. M390 belt satin, beautiful sort of sub frame lock. It's got these thumb discs that actually works really well. It's got stepping up to it, so it really catches your finger. The detent isn't that strong, but it works great for a you know, a thumb stud style knife. Reverse flick actually works well. That's where the thumb disc usually sucks, but it works great on this. Yeah, just a cool knife. Dead nut centered, obviously. Oops. It's sort of a fillet style blade. It's comfortable in the hand. You can kind of choke up, but you know, you're calling that pinch grip works really well. Just a very cool and unique design. I like seeing stuff like that on the market, you know. Whether it's for me or not is a whole different story, but very cool. That is the Matador. I will link all of these knives down below where I can, however I can. So if you want to pick one up, you can use my links. The last one is the Kaiser Hyper. So I've done a few videos on this. This thing is broken in so well with the skiff bearings in it. Still a tank in all directions, but drops no problem. Dead nut centered, just beautiful. I left the Joker scales on here because I, you know, took it apart and did everything. This one has thumb studs that are excellent. Just love the spring on this one. Really pops. Nice sheep's footy blade. I will say I've cut a lot of icy pops with this, and it almost started feeling like it was dulling out, but still feels really sharp. So I think it was just me. Ergos are great. It just fits my hand perfectly back here. Like, you ever have a knife that just fits your hand perfectly? That's how this feels. Choke up grip is just as good. Nice small size, sub 3-inch or right at it. Great spring again, lefty or righty. It works excellently. I love the speed hole type thing. It's really lightweight. It's aluminum and S35. You can get a titanium version as well. There's some different colors. You can buy these. Purple and green scales extra. Disassembly is interesting, but I did a video on it. Check it out. But it was ultimately kind of cool that it works the way it does. These are two separate pieces that kind of fold together, like top and bottom. It's really interesting. I really like it. Button, no stick or anything, broken really well. Yeah, just really dig this knife. This is a design from Damon. He was the product supervisor at Kaiser. Now he is starting his own brand, Pirate Tech, I believe, with Crazy K. They were both at Kaiser. Now they're doing that on their own, and I think they're a couple. Very cool. But yeah, the Hyper, very unique knife, very cool knife from Kaiser, and I asked them to check it out because I hadn't seen much on it, and I handled one at Blade Show briefly and really liked it. I just didn't get a chance to spend time with it. Now that I have, man, it is definitely one of my favorite Kaisers this year, and I love this thing. One downside to it, I find, is that you can see the plunge area right here for when it locks into the button lock closed, but that's really it. I mean, I've really fallen in love with this knife. So there you go. That's 4 knives. Hopefully quick enough. 13 minutes isn't bad. I spent 18 last time on one knife. You have the Kaiser Hyper. You have the Superlative Matador, the Bestec TARDIS, and then you have the Bestec Mayhem RS knife, etc. Let me know what you guys think down below. Do you agree or disagree on all of these? How would you rank these? I would probably rank them in this exact order in terms of how much I like them and etc. Now, yeah, that is exactly, if I somehow was gifted all of these, this is the order I would put them in. Even though this isn't my style, I like it better, I think, overall than these two. They're also not my style, I guess. I don't know. That was a stupid statement. I really like this one, though. I love you guys. I hope you have an absolutely fantastic day, and I will catch you later.